Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Before I get this lesson started, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, of whom I learned from, and a shalom to the 144,000 chosen, the hopeful elect, taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect spirits of Yasharallah to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Radah, with a short lesson. I wanted to go into the Feast of Blood, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verses 3, 4, 5, I believe. Let me see, let's get the whole chapter. And down to 6. I remember when I first read this, before I woke up, I was a Christian, Renaissance, Western Christianity. But even in that dead religion, in that congregation of the dead, I did desire deeper meanings to things. I've always had a hunger for that. Now that I am awake and in the 100% truth, I just got done finishing listening to one elder, Manat Dazabaz, out of South Carolina. He's going into the seriousness of prophets and how there is 100% truth, and that puts those men that have that position in a very powerful position, because if he was giving like examples like, during Noah's time, if you didn't listen to Noah, you drowned. Duh, because Noah is the only one who had the truth, and he was declaring it, but nobody was listening to him, and as a result, everybody fucking drowned except for his family. It's the same with any prophet. It's the same with any elect spirit that the Most High, Yahweh Shai, raises up. If you are not listening to them, there's not a bunch of different confusing voices. There is one solid 100% truth, okay? If you look at the story of King Nebuchadnezzar in the book of Daniel, he was the head of gold, right? He was literally the head of gold in the dream, and he was literally the head of that rulership. So you have a man, a single individual man, who was the head of a nation that was supernaturally, sovereignly raised up by Yahweh, by Shem Yahushai, to rule. And it was the first ruling beast out of the 4 beasts that would rule. What happened to Nebuchadnezzar, you guys? Wasn't he warned in a dream, and Daniel interpreted it? He was likened unto a tree that went up high to heaven, with all the fowls of the air resting in his shade, and all the beasts of the field being nourished in his shade, right? The sum with all the other races, all the other nations of people. It was cut down for 7 times. And then Daniel interpreted, said, you are that tree, right? And so a year King King Nebuchadnezzar, am I saying that right? Hold on, Nebuchadnezzar. I feel like I'm brain farting. Hold on, bro. Salakia, man. Oh my God. Okay, I'm back. Oh my God, I had a TikTok moment. Nebuchadnezzar. God, I was saying Nebuchadnezzar, like those people that be on TikTok and they be recording them. Anyways, man. So King Nebuchadnezzar was proud. He didn't repent, and he was boasting, right? And he was given the revelation that the Most High raises up whom he will, even the basest of men. Well, a couple years later, he's bragging. Look at this kingdom that I built for my majesty. And right when the words leave his mouth, what do the watchers do? And the watchers are who? The mighty ones, the Alahayim. Oh, King Nebuchadnezzar, it is declared unto you. You will lose everything for 7 times, and take the heart of a beast, take the mind, take the heart of a man from him, and give him the heart of a beast. What does that mean? The heart means your mind, the reasoning, the understanding. Take the understanding, take the wisdom that he has been given, and give him the wisdom and understanding of an animal. And the Bible says that his body became like feathers, and he grew claws, and he ran. He was removed from the kingdom of men, and for 7 years he ate grass in the field like a fucking cow. Okay, and then what does it say at the end? I'm paraphrasing. At the end of 7 years, he looked up into the sky, and his reasoning returned unto him. All of his wisdom that he had when it was taken from him, was given 100% back. And then he extolled the king of heaven. Remember, and he was restored to his throne. Same exact thing is happening with the elect of Israelites, you guys. We were proud, we were adulterous, we were rebellious, we wouldn't fucking repent. And so the Most High took our minds. Okay, all right. I'm going to turn up Esau, the beast man, the base man, and I'm going to set him over you on the left-hand side, and I'm going to turn you all the way down. That's what the curses are. We lost all of our wisdom. We lost our understanding. We lost the wife of our youth, which is wisdom. We lost our ability to interpret and expound dark sentences. We lost our heritage, you guys. And these assholes and these idiots who say no one can have 100% truth, they're full of fucking shit. Because you can. If you're a member, if you're the elect or the hopeful elect, just like King Nebuchadnezzar, who is a fucking heathen, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai gave him all of his wisdom back. How much more so will he do it for the sons of God, the sons of power? We are getting all of our light back. We're getting all of the Holy Spirit back. We're getting all of our wisdom back, you guys. And that's the names, the proper understanding of the correct names, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, Wah Yahweh Shai, and their meaning, he exists and he delivers, right? And the doctrine, the new song mentioned in Revelation 14 that comes along with those names, which you need wisdom, you need the spirit of wisdom, which is the Holy Spirit, mentioned all through Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Wisdom of Solomon, and even portions of Ecclesiasticus. You need that to understand the whole role from front to back. The entire Bible is one breath of Yahweh, Wah Yahweh Shai. And you need the Spirit to interpret that. So I said all that just going into this. Wisdom of Solomon, I remember when I read this, and how it pinpointed, like everything is in the scriptures, going into the Feast of Blood, which is what? It's a left-handed practice. It goes into human child sacrifice. And that is what human trafficking, that is really the foundation, the root of all human trafficking, more so than sex, even though sex is a major part of that religious function, because there's an element in that religion that they do sexual things with these children. The majority of it is about the trafficking of the blood, the adrenochrome, and however they offer up these children to these deities on the left-hand side, and however they are able to then exchange that blood for information and technology and all kinds of stuff. And that's how Hollywood is ran. That's how the music industry is ran. That's how the government is ran. It's ran off of the trafficking of this. And so we're going to read this. I'm going to get some videos. There's 3 videos I'm going to let play on TikTok, and then we're going to expose who Esau Edom is, because he is the wicked, and the earth is given into his hands right now. So he could stop this, but he doesn't, because he needs it, because that's the only way he can rule. Esau, Amalek, the so-called white man, the so-called Ish man, the small hats, they can only operate on the left-hand side. And they have to traffic. They have to have money. They have to have spiritual currency on the left-hand side if they're going to purchase information, wisdoms, strategies, powers, because they don't have it on their own. And the currency on the left-hand side is the blood of children, murdered children on an altar. Just like the blood on the right-hand side is the blood of Yahweh Shai. So it is on the left-hand side for wicked situations. So we're going to read this. This is Wisdom of Solomon 12, 3 down to 6. For it was thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers both those old inhabitants of thy holy land, whom thou hatest for doing most odious works. Odious goes into hateful. Let's get the etymon. Just see it. Odious. Odiferous. Oops. Hateful, deserving of hatred. Okay, regarding with aversion or repugnance. So it's a stench. All right, hateful, offensive, unpleasant. Odium, hatred. Okay, fact of being hated, ill will. So it is a hateful thing to offer children up in human sacrifice to left hand Elohim in order to exchange for power. It's fucking hateful. Okay, so also those merciless murderers of children. Let me go back to verse 4. Whom thou hatest for doing most hateful works, odious works, of witchcrafts and wicked sacrifices, and also those merciless murderers of children and devourers of men's flesh and the feasts of blood, with their priests out of the midst of their idolatrous crew, and the parents that killed with their own hands souls destitute of help. This goes into your, they have a breeding system where they have women that get pregnant at these orgies. They get pregnant by these, these powerful bankers, these witchcraft dudes, and those children are offered up to sacrifice, and some of them become famous. Some of them are chosen to live out these demonically possessed, charged lives because of how they were, fashioned in iniquity, and they're used in Hollywood, in the music industry, in science, all kind of places. So they have a whole system for this shit. So I wanted to read this, and then look, I wanted to show you something in TikTok.
Talk about immigration, I'm going to talk about where the missing children are. Talk about politics, I'm going to ask where the missing children are. Ask me about religion, I'm going to ask you where the missing children are. Ask me about anything, and I'm going to ask you, where are the missing children? The 460,000 children that go missing, 10 to 20% of which are never found, 40 to 80,000 missing children that are never recovered in America, doesn't sit right with me.
Those are some pretty high numbers, huh? Who is in control of surveillance? Who is developing facial recognition surveillance technology, even as we speak, to give them an edge during Jacob's trouble? Isn't it Esau, Edom, the so-called white man? Who is in control of the borders? Who is in control of any form of military and the police? Right? Who's got all these powers? Now, multiple different nations and races are involved in this stuff, but who's got all the keys to all these doors? The so-called fucking white man. Who's got the biggest military? Who's got the who has access to other countries when it comes to doing financial operations or coups when they want to extract resources out of a country, and they wouldn't be able to do it, normally, so they have to create a situation where it looks like there's a civil war or some kind of coup going on, and then they assassinate a world leader so that they can then raise up someone within that nation that will open up the back door for them so they can extract everything out. That's power. It takes power to do that kind of shit. If you can do those types of things over and over again, you can stop human child trafficking. So if it's not stopped, it's because they don't want it to stop, because they're the ones that are doing it.
Into consideration all of the other countries and all of the other numbers that I presented to you, over 100,000 in Europe. Where are the missing children? Where are they? Fuck immigration. Fuck Israel. Fuck Iran. Fuck the government. Fuck the dentist. Fuck the pharmaceutical company. Fuck them all. Where are the fucking children?
I told him to ask his own people, because look, ask your own people. Who owns the media? Who runs the government? Who owns all of the prisons? Who writes the laws? Who owns the military? The exact same race who had my people in slavery, and same people who created the border crisis in order to do what they are doing now. Same race. And then I put Wisdom of Solomon. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. And child human sacrifice to demons is the main reason for human trafficking, all of which is 1,000% controlled by Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. And he actually liked all this shit. I get he's in agreement, so this dude might be a Jake. Anyways.
Many people have a hard time.
Listen to what this girl says, you guys. Listen. Now, this is a insider. She was just listen to what she has to say. Wow.
I'm believing that child snuff exists. That even snuff exists.
She's talking about snuff films, snuff porn, where they actually record themselves murdering a person while they're having sex with them or something like that.
let alone that high-ranking government officials and military agencies orchestrate it. To believe that there are deep underground military bases that commit mass genocide against children, film it, and sell it on the black market for quote-unquote gore whores, snuff fiends, slop sluts, snuff kings. To watch it is unfathomable to most people. Unfortunately, that is reality, and that is a reality I know too well. I spent the first 17 years of my life being taken to that place on a near daily basis, sometimes held for longer periods of time, in which I was incarcerated, did not know if I would ever see daylight again. I've witnessed thousands of murders, largely of children of color, who were systematically targeted for their race.
So, children of color to the unknowing or the ignorant or the blind, but Hebrew Israelites to those who understand. So what does this go into? This goes into major, there's spiritual properties involved in this. This is the curses. But if this is what I think it is, they are specifically targeting Hebrew Israelite blood for a multiple reasons. The covenants, the fact that we are the chosen seed, the difference in our DNA, the spiritual connection, the blasphemy of what it is. There's all kinds of spiritual reasons why they're targeting us. Possible they want to ingest our properties to see if that heals them better. There's all kinds of trippy, weirdo, creepy shit that because they have done a diligent search. They haven't just only done a diligent search in the scriptures. They've done a diligent search in the human body. And so all that information, all that data that they have is the reason why they're doing this shit, but they're doing it on the left-hand side, and it's fucked up.
By the white supremacist government, which runs the United States. They called it Uncle Sam's Snuff Factory as a private joke. As if it was a mom and pop shop. A local business. Uncle Sam was supposed to be a friendly figure. A figure in American propaganda.
She's talking about underground labs, underground cities, underground death chambers, whatever they got going down there. That's what she's talking about, you guys. She's talking about shit that takes place underground.
To look at like a father, like a friend. The Snuff Factory, also known as the Genocide Factory, is the very literal definition of hell on earth. It is not unique. There are other places like it, all over the world. I have been trafficked there as well. But what I can say is there is no place like Uncle Sam's. It is one of those places where a person can get literally anything they want for the right price if they have the connections to be there. I have seen wealthy, aristocratic white women ordering children of color on menus to be delivered dead, cooked on platters in a wing of the place they call it Cannibal's Kitchen. And the reason I'm alive and the reason I survived is because I was born into an organized crime family involved with the CIA who ran this operation. And I have the genetics, the family background, to be a candidate for perpetration, for continuing the cycle of violence.
Which just means Edomite seed lines, Edomite tribes that are more susceptible or more knowledgeable to the left-handed satanic practices than normal, because it goes in, everything's in file and rank. So she was in a high-ranking family. Now she doesn't, I don't think, it obviously sounds like she doesn't understand it. She's an Edomite, like a lot of them don't. But this is really the reason why. It's the house of Esau, and she's a member of one of the tribes, and she's a high-ranking member, not knowingly her family is, and that's how they operate, you guys. That's what she's going into.
For being one of the quote-unquote leaders or members of the group.
Just like how you have the 1/3 Israelites in Israel, who Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is directly working with, and the angels, and you can tell by their truth, by the way they're able to explain the scriptures, and by the way they're able to speak, against Esau's kingdom from the right-hand side in prophecy. It's the same thing with the elites as far as Esau, Edom concerned. There's a smaller group of them that actually operate in that deep, dark spiritual world, and it's these people.
Involved. So I was kept alive for experimentation, for slavery, for use. I fought my way out, and if you want to learn about that, you can watch any of the videos on my channel. It'll be informative. Many people have a hard time believing
Let's get a precept. What is Esau, you guys? He is a he is a cunning hunter. KJV, Esau, the cunning hunter, right? This isn't just with animals, this is with people. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents, right? He's also the border of wickedness, right? Esau, Edom, the border or nation, border of wickedness. This is how you interpret this. We're going to read all of these. In fact, let's read all 4 verses. The burden of the word of Yahweh to Israel, Yasharallah, by Malachi. I have loved you, saith Yahweh, yet ye say, talking about the Israelites, talking about Jacob, wherein hast thou loved us? And this is the answer. Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith Yahweh, yet I loved you, I chose you. I gave you my wisdom, I rejected him. I gave you my name, my laws, my statutes, my commandments. I talk with you face to face through your prophets. I don't talk to Esau. I talk to you. My chariots, my angels, my hosts, they protect you. Whenever you get into battles and fights, we're on your side. We're not on anybody else's side. You have supernatural help. I gave you the covenant of my circumcision. I made a covenant with you on the mountain. I delivered you from Egypt. I destroyed Pharaoh for your cause. I haven't done that for anybody else. And I hated Esau, and I laid his mountains and his heritage waste. This is talking about his government and rulerships, which are the mountains, and the heritage, talking about the way Esau expresses himself on the earth as a nation. This hasn't happened yet. It was paused during the Dark Ages when they were bound for 1,000 years, but they weren't destroyed. This happens after Yahushua comes back, but it's being spoken about here in the 3rd verse of Malachi as if it's already happened. It's very serious with Yahweh. I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished. This is your Dark Ages. But we will return and build the desolate places. And they have. That's the little horn that has established America. And now they're attempting to take over the whole planet. That's where we're at now. But Jacob's trouble is going to hit. And before they can completely do establish their, God damn it, what does it say in Job? Before they shall be in straits. I always forget that word, man. What is it? They're established I keep freaking, I want to get that word and I keep brain farting it. Their industry, no, their undertaking. It means undertaking. Anyways, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them. Who's the they? The elect. That's talking about us, your hopefully elect Hebrew Israelites who have the true names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, who understand the doctrine and understand that the so-called white man is Esau, Edom. They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. The border is the beginning of a nation. That's what identifies a nation. That's what separates a nation from another nation. This is telling you that Edom Esau, the Edomites, are the wicked. And they're not a couple of them, not just the elites, not just the 1%, every fucking one of them. Even Joe Six-Pack Edomite is wicked. They shall, because it's a seed line DNA thing, they shall build and I will throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever. Now let's go back.
Child snuff exists.
Let me see if I can find, let me see. Let's try this, you guys. Watch. Let me see if I can pull up
It's part
Hostel. Look at this. Hostel. It's a movie by Hostel. See, Hostel Part 1. Hostel. Let me see. Yep. Okay, so this movie is talking about the stuff that you just... The stuff that you just heard that girl talking about, that's what this is talking about. These people all over the earth, there's a network of them, and they pay and they bid on people to take them and put them in these kill rooms, and they do whatever they want with them once they buy them. And that's what this movie goes into. It's fucking crazy. See, so the dude... So that guy right there eating a salad, reason why his hands are shaking, there's a I can't remember the name of the disease, but you get that when you eat people. So they don't show him eating people in the movie, but you could just put the dots together. This guy right here that's eating the salad is this guy right here, and he's inside of a fucking kill room. Watch. And see, he had already purchased this guy, and that guy trying to escape. So he's in this dark area where there's all these people. They're all getting raped. They're getting killed. Those are the guards that keep everything under control. And they put you in these rooms, and people like this guy, they pay for you so that they can take days torturing your ass. They can take days raping you. They can take days torturing you and raping you, and then they kill you. Or what they really do is they sacrifice you to a deity. And most of these people they're super fucking rich. They're powerful. And this is how they spend their vacations. That's what this fucking movie goes into. And it's just a movie, right? See?
I got you. Hostel is about these two American friends, Paxton and Josh, who are traveling across Europe with this friend, Oli. So they're traveling, and basically they're just like really insufferable, annoying Americans, and they're just looking to like sleep with foreign women and party. One day they meet this dude Alexei, who's like, well, if you want the most beautiful women, you have to go to Slovakia. So of course they get on a train. On the train they meet this weird Dutch dude who tries to like touch Josh's leg and make a move on him. They yell at him and he leaves. When they get to Slovakia, they get to this hostel that they're staying at, and they find that they are actually rooming with these two women, Natalia and Svetlana. So obviously they're like, oh, sick, we get to room with these two hot girls. Paxton and Josh end up going out with the two women to a disco and then sleeping with them later on. And while they're doing that, Oli leaves with another girl. But the next morning, he doesn't come back. So while Paxton and Josh are looking for him, they are approached by this Japanese woman who shows them a picture of her friend and Oli. And Oli also texts them with a picture of himself saying, I go home. Meanwhile, we, the audience, see what really happens. And we see that this is not a picture of Oli alive. It is a picture of his decapitated head. And we see that Yuki, the friend of the Japanese woman, is being tortured. So Josh at this point wants to leave, but Paxton is like, nah, dude, let's stay another night. So they stay another night with the girls, but this time Natalia and Svetlana drug Josh and Paxton. We see what happens to Josh first, and he wakes up bound in this dungeon-like room. And his captor, the Dutch man they met on the train. The Dutch man... Okay, so you see it. I'm going to stop it for a sake of time. But this is what the whole movie is really about, and she's not even doing a good job. She's just giving you a basic, generic rundown of a movie like it's a random movie. We who understand that literally, every movie that comes out of Hollywood is a left-handed prophecy. It's a left-handed method of revelation, which means the revelation of the method, which means they show you what they're doing in a coded form as to appease some law they believe in, that they will not receive some type of karmic judgment now that they've showed you or confessed to you the truth. But it's not a confession, because they're not repenting and they're not being straight up with it. They're doing it in movie form
in lyric form, in magazine cover form, and it's coded. So you have to try to figure it out. So no, it's not a confession and they're not repenting. But you see this now.
Torture.
Let's go to here.
Time. This is an endoscope.
So,
And listen to what this lady is saying.
at the hunt.
Hold on real quick.
So, at the hunting parties, they would, they'd have all these expendable children outside in the woods, and usually they have holding grounds, like a tunnel system or something underground where they hold the kids in cages until the time of the hunt. And the hunt usually happens later, once it's dark outside. And so what they'll do is they kind of they'll kind of make a parameter, which is pretty large, of these woods, and they'll station the different elite people around the perimeter. And then when they give the go, they release the kids, and the kids are told just to run, to hide. And that's when the elite will go through the woods and start hunting for them. When they catch them, a lot of times they will first sexually abuse them, and then they'll kill them. So not everybody will get killed in that situation.
Have you noticed too, anytime and every time you see Edomites, this is what's weird to me. When they're talking about the depraved shit that they do, that they uniquely do in this earth, they're always describing it like it's like a counselor giving a report on a fucking subject that she was studying or reporting on. It's like this professional display. Anytime we do something and they talk about it, it's like the fucking end of the world. And it's never of the level of premeditative thought. It's never of the level of organized crime or organized systematic fucking bloodshed. It is completely different with them, proving their depravity. Yet when they talk about it, or when someone in the news catches hold of it, they decide to do a sanitized version of the news on this shit. It's always like this fucking very like painless presentation of just how fucking wicked these people are. Have you ever noticed that, man? She's describing a system of adults who fucking hunt children like she's giving a fucking report on some third grader's report card. Like, what the fuck, man?
If they don't, then they're used for other hunts. But, there were kids that I saw who, were really good survivors, and they would just continuously have to relive this trauma, there was kind of like, so those were the kids on the outside, and then because we were hierarchy kids, we were on the inside. And so on the inside, usually in the house or the lodge, you would have the older men who were too old. Sometimes it did include women, but they were too old to be out in the woods hunting for the kids. So they brought everything indoors for those individuals. And
so these motherfuckers get to kill and hunt children in the AC and the air conditioning because they're too fucking old. They're on fucking respirators, bro. Respirators. They're so fucking old, and they're not repenting, and they're protected by the system. They get to fucking have an old timers murder camp where they're so fucking old they have to do it inside because they might fuck around and break a leg if they're trying to step over the bushes, or they might get hurt. So to ensure their safety while they're killing and murdering children, they do it inside where it's nice and safe for them. Oh, how neat. How special for the white man, huh? Esau. Oh, what a fucking joke, man. God damn.
Those individuals were not allowed to kill, but they were allowed to capture and rape the hierarchy children. So,
once the signal was given that the hunt was on.
So they can be old and fucking rape. God damn, bro. You get the little old boners. Fucking imagine that shit, bro.
You were just trying to escape, hide, and not be found. And sometimes they would make it seem, for the kids like it was a hide and seek game. So unless you got caught, you really didn't know what happened.
Yeah, man. So this is proof of how Esau lives his life during his rulership. This is what they do for fun, you guys. Yes, 2/3 Jakes do stupid shit. The black on black crime, some of the hood behavior, but it's usually it's sporadic and impulsive. It's stupid. Those portions of our people need to be destroyed, and they need to come back on the earth through the new covenant. 1000% agree with you. But the system of violence, the system of murder, the system of human bloodshed, of human trafficking, is solely an Edomite situation, because he is in rulership. He is in control of the earth right now, and it hasn't stopped. So I just wanted to share this little weird expose.
Many people have a hard time believing that child snuff exists. That even snuff.
So with that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakagadash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, of whom I learned from, and a shalom to the 144,000 chosen, the hopeful elect, taking his truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect spirits of Yasharallah to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Radah. Shalom.